way. Carrots, onion. Let ads run. Cool. Garlic, ginger, squash, carrots. 6 cups of chicken broth. Holy shit. What's 6 times 8? Uh, 48. Right? How much is this? 32. Let's maybe go with vegetable. Six times 8. I'm gonna use this. If anybody's there and you hear me, know that I am setting up and letting the pre-roll burn out. Holy crap, where is... Move. What a... What a... Tie. That's a lot more onion than I would have expected. I may only use 1.5, but I probably looks like one. Maybe I'll use a large instead of a medium. Trash bowl. Fish sauce. Tablespoons. Oh, I'm gonna need sugar. Lime. I'm gonna have to use bottled lime. Boo. It's falling. If I don't have lime juice, I'm gonna have to bail on this whole thing. That doesn't seem like a problem I would normally have. There we go. Ugh. This is trash. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, that's freaking loud. Immersion blender part. Hello. Hello, hello. How's it looking here? I'm gonna sit down and cook today. It's pretty out right now. It's snowing. Everything town is closing down. Like you do. I'm gonna make some soup. Great weather for it. I'm hoping it doesn't get worse. It's supposed to switch back and forth, like mixed yucky sleet between snowfalls. And I hope it doesn't do that. If we could stick with snow, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to matter much in the end for things remaining passable, because as the temperature goes up and down, pardon me, through the week, if it does that like it did last week, this ice, it's going to turn into ice, and more ice, and more ice. Fuck ice. In all the ways. I need a monster. I stayed up too late last night, but it was wonderful because I hung out with, found some new streams, hung out with friends on the internet, and then new people. I've had this butternut squash kicking around for a while. I may abort and cook something else if I cut this open and it's not great looking, because I love butternut. It's good so far. But I usually use them much more quickly. Looks like it's got a little wrinkliness, but yeah, it's fine. Right on. This is a new to me way of making it. I've made a butternut squash soup recipe on stream before. This Thai-inspired one I have now, I found a printout of it, and I'm not honestly certain. I was looking at it, and I have everything for it. Well, just about. I'm going to have to use bottled lime juice. And I really want to try it. And I apparently wanted to try it so much I printed it out. I know my friend and mod, Stormy Sooner, sent me the recipe she uses a while ago. I don't think this is the same one. And I'm sorry I didn't dig back into the Discord to verify. But this is, hold on, get these seeds out of here. So much better using an ice cream scoop for this. I know I don't normally use recipes, but after I make this the first time, if I really like it, make it again, I probably won't. This is from someone named Jennifer Segal. Apparently I got it from the site Once Upon a Chef. I got, and this is like, it's a red curry paste in it, which I recently got just for wanting to play with and try at home. last week I got some red curry at our local Thai place, and I don't know. It was disappointing. I've eaten there a lot over the years, but I feel like they're getting very inconsistent ever since the original owner um, retired a couple of years ago. I mean, it's still pretty great to have Thai food at all in this little southern town, but um, I only have 11. Everything I'm going to have to reduce the recipe by a little because I have, I think, less squash and less coconut milk than it calls for, and less broth. I was going to use um, better than bouillon to make up for that, but I'm just going to reduce everything by a little bit. Still be a whole pot of soup that probably only I'll eat. My middle son Victor might have some. And as much as it sucks, he's can't be out on his own right now. Um, so nice to have somebody living at home who is less picky than my husband and my youngest. He has been eating the doll I made like every day. He got a little bit of a cold, and it was helping him feel better. Um, and I'm going to make some more of that soon, but I don't need to show it because I've already done it. I got the masala in the freezer. I can just throw it all in the Instapot to make another batch. He was actually kind of not finishing it up. Trying to save it for me. Hello, Dreddy749. So I know you're not my other Dreddy. I think Dreadnecks. It's a different Dread. I know I'm peeling this weirdly, but my hands don't feel great today. The weather is not helping with the arthritis-y things. Dreadnecks. Who is Tanner is Straven? Who's Dreadnecks? I'm trying to remember his real name. Somebody in the Frog Pants community. Right. Probably should have cut this into smaller pieces and make it easier to peel, but yeah, my brains aren't all the way on today. So this soup's gonna have butternut squash and carrots and onions and garlic and coconut milk and ginger and fish sauce and stock and some lemon juice or lime juice, sorry, not lemon. That in this recipe is kind of a big difference. I wouldn't want to replace one with the other. Lime goes way better with curry than lemon. So it's going to be a butternut squash soup. Thai inspired, which is really going to hit the spot. We have, looks like, I'm in North Carolina, and we have, looks like about 4 inches of snow already on top of ice that we got last week that wasn't all gone yet. I'm stuck in my car's in my neighbor's driveway. Our driveway isn't, both of our driveways are like 30-degree angles. And ours is not paved, and theirs is. So depending on the weather we get, we end up sharing driveways. Right now, theirs is passable, ours is not. So my car is over there. If the ice would have all melted and we got a bunch of, I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes our driveway is passable and theirs isn't because it becomes a sheet of ice. And then they park over here. I thought about paving it, but it's like, well, then we would both be screwed at the same time, let alone the expense. Holy cow. I was surprised what it cost to get a driveway paved. Six new Discord notifications. It's like because I decided to stream, everybody I know also decided. That would be my luck. Why keep two different screens when you do with one? Some people want to see my face. Some people want to see the food being cooked. I've watched cooking streamers that don't show their face and that are VTubers and stuff. I don't feel like I'm as comfortable with that. I like to see who I'm talking to or with or at. I mean, it would be a little strange. I don't know. Just the way I decided to do it. And I've tried both ways. I used to have mostly me and then just a little stream for the cooking demo. A lot of food and drink streamers do that. I end up feeling more comfortable with it this direction. The point for me is to be helping people gain confidence, but they too can cook. Sometimes I teach methods that can be, turned into a lot of different things, like when I did the bechamel, or talked about an ingredient like potatoes and why I use different ones for different things. But I might screw up, and y'all can witness that too. But this shouldn't be too hard. It's just new to me. I mean, if I use one screen, what should it be, in your opinion? Just showing the food and disembodied hands creating them, and my cool Access for All t-shirt. I mean, I know I'm looking a little rough today. I couldn't find my bandana to put my hair back that I would normally. I'm just actually relieved that my lav mic is working. I forgot to take it off after a stream, and the other day I found it in my dryer. It apparently went through the wash and then through the dryer probably a couple of times. So, good on whatever brand it is. Eek. Yeah, we don't need the guts. Let's get the guts out of here. So I've got my pan heating, cubing up my squash. Gonna look at my directions. Onion, garlic, and ginger go in first, but I'm using cheater ginger in a tube, so I don't have to worry about cutting that up. Get this onion sorted out, though. This is going to be... I'm thinking that from looking at the ingredients, it's very similar to my other coconut milk squash soup. Just a little different because of the added curry paste and fish sauce and such. So I'm thinking it's going to be good cold as well as hot. Like, Mine, my normal one that I invented is my award-winning soup. And I really need to change my bot. I mean, it's okay. People can donate to the streamathon. I do have next year set up. I'm not going to reduce the amount of garlic in this because it's no such thing as too much garlic. These clove size are so inconsistent, but no big deal. All right, I'm going to have to whack this better than that. There we go. Pardon my bouncy table, probably bouncing my camera all over the place too. Yep. I might need to get a more stable camera arm. I noticed when I did the Factual Foodie on Sunday, my camera was bouncing more than I realized when I was making sausage and doing other things. All right. Let's see if this is warm yet. Not yet. Gonna give it a minute while I keep prepping ingredients. It's funny, when I make my other butternut squash soup, I don't usually put carrots in it. I did in the original recipe, but that's because I was making it for a contest where I had to use a particular, like, use a Wolfgang Puck product, right? Because it was a sponsored competition. And I had a Wolfgang Puck immersion blender, which I still have. That I'm going to give up on. It's getting hard to put together and take apart. But that's why I put carrots in the first version, just so I kind of had something to really use the blender for, because the squash itself kind of disintegrates enough. You really wouldn't really need an immersion blender. I think I also, in the original, put some spaghetti squash in it. And that was good for... that definitely needed to be blended, because the texture of that would have been stringy soup. And that also helped reduce the calorie count, which is something that was beneficial when I was posting the recipe online to spark people, for people to be able to track their intake accurately. I hate that Spark People went extinct. I had a couple recipes posted there. It was an easy way to share them. But now, if you want my recipes, come to the Discord, and I'll link you to where I got them, or post a picture of the cookbook page from my family cookbook, or... I don't think I've typed any out yet, but I'm sure that'll happen eventually, especially when I get to work on my Delicious Dungeon cookbook. I plan to be starting recipe development for soon. Do, 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 do. Chop, chop. I should probably be cutting this smaller. I'm trying to be consistent, but the squash can be a little bigger than the carrots because the carrots are more dense. I feel the heat. Get some oil, olive oil in there. A couple tablespoons. How much ginger? 2 tablespoons. Cool. All right, first I'm going to pop something in here. Yep. See if it reacts. Test the heats. Okay, so I talked about this with when I made the black bean soup the other day, how you want to layer and season it at every stage. When you make a soup or a stew or a chili, I neglected to chop up one of these garlics at all. That's not going to work. Sorry for the noise. And this is kind of the beginning of that. Is getting your aromatics going like you would with a mirepoix for things in French cooking or in Holy Trinity with Cajun cooking. Just sweat those out and marry them up. As a separate step. And put just everything in the pot at the same time. But I did do a decent bit of my mise en place, which is getting all your ingredients prepped and ready to put in the pot beforehand so that I didn't end up with like the aromatics burning while I was having to cut up all this stuff. I don't have my sriracha out, but that's just for garnish later. Okay, so onion, garlic out, and ginger. Cheater ginger. Love this stuff. I'm going to guesstimate 2 tablespoons. Pardon me. It smells good. And I could have maybe chopped my onion a little smaller, but I'm not too concerned with that because it's going to all get blended up later. And doing it at a little larger size, to me, gives more surface area for. I'm not going to quite caramelize this, but it'll be sweeter. The more you cut an onion or garlic, you release the more surface area you get. You can create more like heat or bring heat out of it. And I think what I really want for this recipe out of the onions is going to be more sweetness to complement, like the carrots and the squash, which are sweet as well, but enough ginger and garlic and stuff to get it savory. 6 to 8 minutes. Do not brown. Reduce heat if necessary. Yeah, I'm going to have to a little bit. I think I wish I could have for my cooking stream still. I'm really glad I can do it. And I have this set up now. But I sure do wish I could use my gas stove for this. I'm really accustomed to having gas, and you turn it down, and it's down. The burners on this electric plate thing are cast iron, so it like takes a minute. So I have to anticipate the time it's going to take to slow down when I turn it down. Okay. Carrots, squash. I pre-cooked the squash for my other recipe. instead of sauteing it and then simmering it the way this is going to do. I imagine I could do the same thing with this if I really wanted to, whether by cutting it in half and excuse me, roasting it or cutting it in cubes and doing it on a baking sheet. I've done both. One just, gives more browning. Obviously, the baking sheet method gives more browning. Okay. Now I am gonna get all these flavors a little into this squash, even though it doesn't tell me to, before I add the broth. But just a little. Broth. Fish sauce. Curry paste. This brand is Blue Elephant. I love curry. Do you have a favorite curry? I really, really like green. I like the different things. The Thai place I had red from the other day, they had it too sweet for me. This recipe has sugar in it, which I'm not going to put in until I get everything else in and give a taste. To see if it really needs it and to adjust it. They do red curry. They used to, you could pick your protein now, like you can with the green curry there, or the yellow. I think they do yellow. I don't even know. Yellow curry is so common and normal for me compared to other ones I've discovered that I don't tend to get it in a restaurant. I like to put some in my chicken salad, for instance. But they used to only do the red with duck, and it was like masaman red curry with duck. But now you can get. I like tofu with my green curry, and I got tofu with the red curry the other day. They were very generous, more generous than I'm used to with the curry or with the tofu. But like I said, it was a little too thick and a little too sweet. Okay, I need like 2 tablespoons of this, but a little less because everything else in this recipe is going to be a little less. So that seems about right. A little more. There. Fish sauce. Tablespoon and a half. So I'm not halving this, so I will get a tablespoon. And then like a little more. There. If it needs more, I can add more. And then I want to get this up so it boils and then turn it down to a simmer. And then 20 minutes. That's not bad. And then blend it up. So yeah. You know what? This adds the coconut milk, lemon juice, and salt after cooking all this. Right on. Already smells good. Smells like curry in here. Oh, I can smell the fish sauce. Wow, it's really strong. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be as strong. as it's coming through, but ooh, yeah, tastes like Thai food. It's really gonna change characters after it's all cooked, and the squash and the carrots and the coconut milk all kind of temper it. I think it will need some sugar, not as much as it was calling for necessarily. Um, to temper the spice. About the same amount as I put of the fish sauce, really. So that's going to take a while. What do we do while that's happening? Fuck ice. Do y'all watch TikTok videos? There's this guy with his cats that he does voices for that's really hilarious. And they've been protesting lately. If you have an issue with people protesting the bullshit in Minnesota right now, you can see yourself out. That's cool. I have friends there who are struggling, who can't leave their house because they don't feel safe, who are struggling with PTSD from the Floyd riots and now have this to contend with. Kind of sucks. I am political. I feel like art is political. I feel like everything is political and people need to just be more involved and take responsibility for that instead of avoiding it. If we care about our fellow humans, I chose politics as the path to make positive change, and I did that for about 15, 20 years. About 50 years, like 15 very, very actively. But now, I'm backed off of most of that. But I still talk about it. How's it look? Does it look good to you guys? This is my new-ish cam. Got it for Christmas from my wonderful, supportive husband, who kind of supports me in my creative endeavors here. My long-held dream of doing a cooking show, because I love teaching people to cook. I've taught my sons to cook. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think if I'll stream it or not. I might. Uh-oh. Let's get rid of that noise, shall we? I always forget to turn off the dehumidifier when I stream. It's like right behind me. I'm not going to promise, but I might do sausage gravy tomorrow. I guess there's no point in streaming that because I've already streamed that when I did bechamel and talked about that mac and cheese. But my middle son asked me to show him when I make it next time. I told him he could just go watch the video, but I guess that's weird. I do back them all up on YouTube. And Twitch is like really great at saving them. Now, I swear it used to save them for a much shorter time. I've been an affiliate for years. That happened when I think when I was still live streaming, recording Gate Grills podcast before we had a separate channel just for that. And I think the folks in the Diamond Club community, helped me get enough views at a time and all the goals to become affiliate. I didn't realize quite how long I had been streaming in on Twitch till I tried. You know what? I should see if followage works. on my channel. Is there a different command? Oops. Yeah, no. I have to turn that stuff on. In Kanara's stream the other day, I was able to use a command and find out that I've been on Twitch for 15 years and like I think 6 months and some. Wow. It doesn't feel like that long. This is taking longer than I want to come up to temp, but it's fine. Everything's fine. If I really want to, I could throw this in the pressure cooker. That'd speed this shit up, but not today. Might do something else in the pressure cooker. I might do the dal in the pressure cooker later. But again, I've already demonstrated that. The next show I'm planning for, I've started making a list, is blends, spice blends, herb blends, rubs, that kind of thing. Just making, I need a new batch of BAM. I'm low on it. So I'll make some of that. I'm getting low on my breakfast sausage blend. This package is going to a, a subscriber. What else? I think I'll probably make some taco seasoning. I might make a homemade chili powder just to show it's something you can do. I'll make some poultry seasoning. I quit buying that, and I do use a good bit of it in the summers, especially because I've got a firehouse chicken recipe my family loves that I got from like family friends, those fundraisers up north at firehouses and stuff. It's like a vinegar-based barbecue recipe, and it's got couple tablespoons of poultry seasoning in it. So I'd go through bottles quickly, and it was like, I have all this, everything that's in that blend in my cupboard, and pretty much all the time right now because of growing sage and thyme and rosemary in my garden. So I have like an abundance of it. So I'll probably do a poultry seasoning to show how you can do that. Maybe an Italian blend too. There's a lot of bottles of stuff that people keep in their cupboard that is redundant when you could blend it yourself instead of paying a premium for someone else to just mix it up for you. I have a separate spice grinder for that kind of thing too. Okay, this is simmering now. So, Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20-minute timer started.
Thank you. So what else is, whoops, on the list of, I'm going to pull up the document so I can, no. Spice blends. BAM, poultry seasoning, breakfast sausage, taco, chili, Italian, and rubs. I'm not completely sure that it's the right stream to talk about rubs, but given the length of, I try to keep my streams short. I try to keep them around an hour and have you all end up with a finished edible item. I can probably add talking about rubs. I don't tend to make rubs until I'm about to use them. But I have some sort of unusual ones that I would love people to gain the confidence to understand how the flavors go together and what they do and why the ingredients are in them. A lot of times I just use the BAM and with brown sugar, and that's great. But I like to blacken steaks, and I use something different for that, which is mostly spices and just a tiny bit of sugar, relatively, instead of like a third um, or two-thirds sugar, like I would when I'm uh, slow cooking some ribs. I like to use coffee, um, and it's wildly successful on something like a ribeye to put coffee in a rub. I've got some dried peppers that I get at Compare Foods. Um, and of course, you can buy jars of stuff like anchos and different different peppers have different characters. Sorry, I'm distracted. It looks the momentum of the precipitation outside changed in a way that I'm worried that it's icing over the snow, which will leave me in my house stuck here indefinitely. Not into. This stream is going to go a little longer than normal. That's okay. Okay, join my Discord if you haven't. I hit my goal to give away another cookbook last Sunday, so I think this Sunday it'll have been a week, so I'll put the giveaway in there then. Then I feel like that's plenty of time to give the new folks a chance to go in the Discord and enter said giveaway. I have something like 150-ish cookbooks from which the drawn winner will be able to choose. And I will mail it to you. What other soups are in the works? I have. Let me see. I did black bean the other day. It's definitely soup season. I've got stuff in the house for chili. I don't feel like demonstrating chili is. I don't know. I guess I'll ask my Discord community if they'd be interested in that. Like, I feel like there's not all that much variance in the way people make chili. Like, different kinds of meat, different kinds of beans, I guess. Um, I don't feel like mine is anything special, although my kids prefer mine, the ones that will eat it. Like, my eldest son has expressed missing my chili and not preferring other people's. But then again, I lost a chili cook-off. Didn't even place a couple years ago locally. People have very different preferences with chili. I like to be able to discern vegetables in it still. I don't even have a green pepper in the house, but that's not a necessary thing. But I do like to put like some bell pepper in toward the end so it doesn't completely disappear. I like to be able to tell it's tomatoes instead of cooking it for like hours and hours and hours and days and it just being like I I found at the chili cook-off I didn't like most of the winners because they were like the meat had just disintegrated to, just tiny little, you could tell there was meat in there bits. And The tomatoes and stuff had disintegrated completely to a sauce. Um, some of them, even the beans. I mean, some didn't have beans. I do beans and meat in my chili. Um, but that's a whole different argument. It's not worth having. It's been had to death. Um, there was a white chili there that placed that I also didn't like, but that was a personal preference thing. To me, it just tasted like cumin, and I love cumin. Like I always add if I've got making chili or something else that I'll season with chili powder, like the black bean soup I made the other day, I'll add a little more cumin. But it was like the only thing I could taste, and I felt like it was a missed opportunity. Like I would have definitely used more garlic and jalapeno and just things to make it more interesting. I don't know. Again, very personal preferences. Um, it was the only white chili at the competition. So hell, good for you. Go for it. I love the creativity of that in a community that has they're obviously their own ideas about what chili is and is not and should not be. Cool. Nice. Coming along nicely. I'm going to turn it down a little bit just because we do have those heavier ingredients in there and I don't want any of them to end up burning on the bottom. It's got plenty of liquid. It is not threatening to do that right now at all. Thankfully. Um, yes, I'm not sure if it's worth demonstrating chili, but I do have stuff in the house to make chili. I am just going to use beef for that. The one I made in the competition had venison. I had started it with some bacon or salt pork or something, which I don't normally do at home. I'll usually just brown in some olive oil or whatever. But, it was competition level, and I was trying to amp it up. And I was really excited about the venison, but I don't always have access to that. I'm going to be making a stew. I have some bison meat that I purchased a while ago from a friend of mine who doesn't live too far away that farms bison. And it's like the last I have left is a package of stew meat. I may just straight up make, like a beef stew style stew with it, but I have some wine and I have some mushrooms. So I'm going to see. I could use bacon from the store, but I might use my homemade bacon because I do want to start with that or a salt pork type thing if I make it into a bourguignon or a burgundy style thing. I feel like the meat deserves that treatment over just a regular, carrots and peas and potatoes. Um, I could do a stroganoff. Because I have sour cream too. I might hybrid it up and talk about all three. Like do a stew that has bourguignon flavors but has potatoes in it. I mean, if I add, and then from there, if you just stir some sour cream in, you basically turned it into a stroganoff. I really like that's a better demonstration than bothering with chili, in my opinion, for all of y'all who want to learn to do things and get some confidence to try more, making more things. Because that's like a lot of flexible information about what to do depending on what ingredients you have. available to you. I'm gonna get a fork so that I can poke the veg and get a better idea when it's done than the timer's gonna give me, and yeah. A little stuffy. Oh, it's getting there. Cool. The carrots are definitely still too hard, though. So I'm going to cover it back up and put my blender together. I was really surprised that my air fryer kept triggering my power strip to go off last Sunday during the competition. Because I've got this burner out here, got my immersion blender, got the laptop and my camera, and a light plugged in, but I'm not even using it, and the Instapot. I guess it was just too many things at once. Because when I tested the recipe, I used the air fryer, and it wasn't giving me that problem. And I've used these things at the same time with the toaster oven being out here and didn't have that happen either. So, not sure why it was giving me grief Sunday. So this coming Sunday, I'll definitely be hanging out in that chat at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're not already following, follow Chef John Leung, and it's another round of the Factual Foodie, the competition I'm currently in. I don't remember who's in this week. Jane Henry and someone. I think they're doing Thai food. I forgot about that. Here I am doing Thai-inspired food. There's definitely gonna need more salt, in my opinion. So you can go and participate in the trivia and rate the chefs for the competition. And after that round is over, chef is going to do a drawing to determine who goes against who next from the winners. So then I'll know who I'm competing against. Excuse me, and exactly what our dish will be. I know our next competition is February, I believe the 8th. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm a little bummed about that, but it's only a couple hours. It'll be fine. Because yes, I do actually tend to watch the Superb Owl and I don't watch the World Series, but I like hockey and football, so I watch the big games on those, and more often sometimes if I get the opportunity or if I have someone to watch with. So after this is cooked, I'm going to take the stick blender to it to make it smooth. It says silky smooth, so I'm going to give those carrots a little time here. And then stir in the coconut milk, lime juice, and salt. I may not need any salt. I put a pinch in when I did the aromatics, and fish sauce is salty. If I can smell the fish sauce coming through that curry paste, it's probably going to be salty enough for me anyway. Excuse me. Although that salting at every stage and level is valid, it might need it, but with salt, I feel like you can kind of wait. I don't have flaky, fancy finishing salt. I do have a shaker or a grinder that's got salt in it that I smoked. I would probably serve this to someone and have that on the table for them to add if they wanted more salt. It smells really good in here, folks. yeah, the snow isn't coming down as fast as I was worried about. So I don't think, and I can see it. So it didn't turn into the freezing rain we had last week. Holy shit. Last Saturday was a thing. Um, I was shocked at defrosters not being able to keep up and keep the windshield clear. Because it was raining, but it was like 20 and a couple degrees. So it would hit and just turn in ice immediately. My son was trying to pick up my other son from work and got just down the road. And he was apparently low on radiator fluid. So his heater couldn't keep up. But ours wasn't low. And Rob's car, the hybrid, is pretty new. And I had to like be ducking to see where the windshield was clear, even with the heat all the way up and the defrosters all the way up. My son, his boss drove him home from work, so he did get home, but they had to stop in like his boss's truck to scrape the windows between here and there, and it's only a couple of miles. It was. I grew up in Buffalo, and all my life I've never seen anything quite that extreme with freezing rain. Yeah. Yep, just a couple minutes. And those bigger carrots will be to a blendable stage. I feel like I'm going to have to wait and taste it after it's blended. Because just tasting that carrot was more to see if it was cooked enough yet. I can't judge the seasonings from that because it's not all blended together. It's mostly just tastes like carrot. And from this strong smell, I think that broth definitely has enough seasoning to carry through quite a bit of that veg. So me and my middle son are definitely the only ones in the house who are going to eat this. And if my middle son doesn't like it, well, I'll just raise portions for myself. One thing I love about butternut squash is it helps kill my sweet tooth if I'm craving something sweet. Sometimes I just keep, I think I have one package left in the freezer, like, just in case I'm craving sweets, which I don't very often. I tend to crave the salty crunchy. How about you? Alexa, how much time is left on my timer? Okay, I have a dot in that room and a dot in that room. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. So the one in the kitchen didn't hear me ask. The one in the living room did. And it told me it was finished and ringing when that one started ringing. That was cute. Okay, I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to blend it up. Shouldn't be too loud. I've used the immersion blender several times on the stream before. It's never been too loud, too much of a problem. Like I said, this is a Wolfgang Puck one. This motor is super strong and serious, and I hate to give up on it and get a new one. But I realized the other day that it's about 28 years old by my best estimate. So with starting to have trouble like taking it apart from the motor, it's time. It's time to give up on it. If someone has a recommendation of a good brand, I would appreciate it. Drop me a DM or let me know in my Discord. One of my fears with replacing it is it's like when you get a new KitchenAid, because the new ones, the motors is just not quite as good. And for something like this, I am really making it worse. I don't want like an immersion blender that can't handle it. It's honestly what I most often use it for. Different flavor usually, but for a squash soup like that. I was looking at cordless ones. That's another, like, if you're out there and you know, let me know. If the cordless one can even last through a workout like this. It's got a dial on the top. I really don't even know what it's for. Almost silky smooth. Ooh. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say you could just eat this like this. Yeah, this dial on top doesn't seem to do anything. Okay. I still see little bits. They say that dial does nothing. Yeah. Smooth enough. I'm not a restaurant. I don't mind some little bits in my soup. I'm gonna go ahead and add this coconut milk and lime juice, but I'll tell you what, this is good just like this. It's almost like I just ordered a red curry. Like I could just spoon this over some meat and vegetables and it would be a dish. Hi.
Making soup?
Yeah.
Cool.
How much lime juice did this want? Half a lime. So a little less than that because we just said everything is a little bit less. Just to round it out, brighten it up. Sure is pretty. I don't think it needs. Well, the coconut milk I have is less than the recipe called for, but I could probably still put the whole carton I have here in. It just doesn't need it. So this is going to be, if you make this recipe, a matter of taste. I will find the link and post it on my Discord. Like I said, it's from Once Upon a Chef. It's got some suggested garnishes that they complement it to me. They're the kind of garnishes that are. Oh, yeah, I'm not putting more coconut milk. It'll be too sweet for me. That's plenty. Like I said, it didn't need it at all. I'm going to say a little more fish sauce. It's got suggestions to serve it with a little sriracha, scallions. All those things would be great. Chopped salted peanuts. Those are all accoutrements, not just like that's an add, not just a garnish to me, because it's not telling you what's in it. None of those things are actually in it before you would add them. Okay, yeah. To taste, just balancing that a little. I'm going to add a little more curry paste too. The coconut milk really kind of put a damper on the curry, which to me should be the star here. So these are all, to taste once you know what your ingredients do. I think in the future, making this, I probably make the base before the coconut milk and then just add some lime, or actually, yeah, maybe a little squeeze of lime and then put lime wedges next to the bowls and put a swirl of coconut milk on top to serve that you can stir in as you are eating it. No, okay, that's a carrot. Feel like trying to make sure the the chili paste works its way all the way in and doesn't surprise me later. It's a little risky. Yeah. Trying to add that at the end. I should have, pro tip, I should have done is take a little bit of soup out and mix the paste in it before putting it in the pot rather than glop a piece of curry paste in like I did. Lesson learned. I know better. Or, apparently not. But now you definitely do before you make a mistake like I just did. Could definitely be worse. And, I could just throw the immersion blender back in and that would solve that too. But I want to get this wrapped up. Okay, let's get a bowl. Oh, you know what? Gonna use the bowl I used for my curry on Factual Foodie last Sunday. I won, by the way, by one freaking trivia point, so barely. Gives me no confidence going into the next round. Let's get this onion peel out, huh? But this will make for a pretty picture. Part of why I got that bowl to put curry in, or this bowl to put curry in for the contest, like. The contrast is very good for a presentation, eh? All right. I am going to add some accoutrement. I'm going to taste it first. Then I'm going to put sriracha on it. Real sriracha. Real. If you did not know, it's an interesting story to look up. I ordered this online from Underwood Ranches, who is the original producer of sriracha that we all came to know and love. Mm-hmm. And then the big corporation who owned the name of it or something, some part of it, was screwing him, and so he quit selling them peppers. And his peppers are particular. They're red. They're grown on his ranch. Kind of started the whole thing, and I should have done the sriracha before the cilantro. Whatever. So I don't know. He was getting screwed, some kind of contract negotiation, and so he's like, "Fine, fuck you," and quit selling them his peppers. And then sriracha was not the same. There was a shortage for a while, and then it wasn't quite the same. And that's why they were having to get their peppers somewhere else, and yeah, wasn't quite the same. So eventually, he started producing his own, and you can look it up. Look up Underwood Farms Sriracha, and you can get information about that whole drama. And you can order, because I was making do with different brands, different kinds of sriracha, and some were good, some were just passable. Even like the Milahani one, which is super famous, for Tabasco, theirs was not great. And I'm finding it worth it to order. The least I could find is 2 bottles at a time, and I haven't seen it in the store yet. But I'm absolutely finding it worth purchasing it online. Okay, let's try this with a little sriracha and cilantro in the bite. Yeah. Okay, I still have to try. I probably won't demonstrate it. I'll probably just make Natalie's mom's recipe. But this is going in rotation. Thanks for joining me today, or watching if you're watching later. Thanks for hopefully sharing in my excitement that I tried something new and it's good, and I could still mess around with it and make it even better to my own taste. So you can do the same thing, You can do it. Don't say you can't cook. I want to see you try. Come to my Discord, share your efforts with me, and I look forward to cooking with you soon.